was one summer night and we were all hanging out outside. It was me, my husband, the guy, we're just going to call him the guy, and a couple other people. We were all sitting outside, and I said out loud, not to anyone in specific, but I just said out loud, I was like, oh, I have a headache. And when I said that, my husband didn't respond, but the other guy did. And his response was, you got a headache? I'll go get you something. And he immediately got up, went to go get me something for my headache. And it was in that moment. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one that has ever felt like completely ignored by your husband. And then somebody else just pay attention to you. And it's just like, did you just hear what I just said? Oh my gosh, my husband used to hear me too. So during this time, you guys, when I first met my husband, I was in between like 117, 120 pounds. And 1 week before I delivered my daughter, I weighed 195 pounds. So I gained like over 75 pounds. So after having my daughter, I was so insecure. I mean, so insecure. It's so funny to me because I know that, and I've been even asked this, people that I went to high school with, they think that I got implants, but I didn't. Like when I was in high school, I was very, very small. Like I'm 145 now, but when I was in high school, I was like 115, 117, 120, but I didn't have these breasts. I got these from having kids. And this is an illusion, child. They ain't child. This is. I mean, they real, but I'm just saying, as plump as they child, it's an illusion. Anyway, so I done got off track, forgot what I was saying. So, I was like extremely overweight, insecure. At this time, my husband, like I said, he worked construction, so he's working these long hours. He would come home from work, he would take a shower, and he would lay down on the couch, watch TV, and fall asleep. And I would, be upstairs in our bedroom, like wondering, like, why doesn't he come up here anymore? Like, am I fat? Like, obviously I knew I had gained some weight, but I was just like, what? Like, it just started to weigh on me. Like, I just literally felt like my husband was not paying attention to me at all. So that night when that guy did pay attention to me, like literally that's all it took, unfortunately. And so from that point forward, we started flirting, and then literally one thing led to another. We got intertwined into the full-blown affair. Now, during this time of me feeling insecure and my husband sleeping on the couch, the whole time I'm going through this, I'm talking to my best friend at the time, someone who I had been friends with since the first grade. And so, you know what? I just realized that I'm looking over here and I should be looking over. Child, oh my gosh, when I watch this back, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. So the whole time I'm looking over here, I should be looking over here. You guys are probably going to notice this. Oh my God. Anyway, so I'm telling my best friend this and literally crying to her, crying to her. She knew the insecurity that I had about my breasts, about my thighs. Like I had gained so much weight. I was just did not feel like myself. And so, during this time of me telling my best friend, like she would say to me things, she would tell me, Angel, you shouldn't be doing this. Like you shouldn't be running around on your husband. There were times when she would say that to me. And, of course, I'm like, okay, girl, whatever. But anyway, and excuse me. And so eventually, what she said to me was that she couldn't take it anymore. She actually started to feel bad for my husband. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't know, but I shared this story on my Instagram, and it literally went viral. It may even have like 1 million views on it already. I don't even know, but this video went viral. I just shared it like a week ago. So that's why I'm here telling this story, because so many people were like, they wanted to know more. And a lot of people were saying that the best friend wanted your husband. And I never thought of it like that. I'm not going to say I never thought of it like that. I never allowed myself to think of it like that, because to me, it was like, nah, No, that's like my sister. How could she be attracted to somebody that I'm attracted? I don't know. It was just I just literally thought that she just felt bad for him because at that time she was a single mother and she didn't have a good relationship with her children's father and I did, and here I am running around on him. And literally that's what she told me. She said she just felt bad for him because I'm out here running these streets. How so fucking ever? In my grown years. Now, my friend and I, when she told, obviously, we stopped speaking for some time and then we started speaking again. And so we started speaking again. And up until just like maybe a few months ago, I was just like thinking, like, I was just thinking about that time in my life and thinking about, like, damn, like, I don't know. Like I was out with a friend and then like the next day, because the friend that I was with was like, yo, you my friend. Like I just felt like you a friend. And it just made me reflect on the girl who I say was my best friend at that time. And it made me think like that wasn't very friendly. Even if she did feel sorry for my husband, like that wasn't very friendly. Like, and I said that to her, I sent her a message and I was like, what did you want? Like, did you want to be his friend? Like, I couldn't wrap my mind around like, okay, you felt bad for him, but what about me, girl? What about me? And yeah, I know the whole entire situation is effed up. I put her in it. I understand all that. However, that's the truth of what happened as far as that is concerned. Something else I wanted to say. Oh my gosh. Holy Spirit, remind me of what I was getting ready to say. Hold on, y'all. That's what it was. Okay, so somebody on my Instagram asked me, like, how in the world could you still be friends with this girl? And I know that a part of me was still wanting to be her friend because I'm not like saying that everywhere I go, people notice me and I'm like this big, like this big time celebrity or whatever. But what I am saying is that when a lot of people start to know your name, you start to get a lot of attention and you don't always know people's motives. And so I found like comfort in her being like a childhood friend. It's like, yeah, she did some effed up shit. So did I, blah, blah, blah. But I know her, it was like my brain was like, she is what's familiar. And so that's how I was able to, or not able to, that was one of the reasons that I realized why I was comfortable and why I still wanted that relationship, in my life, because it's just cool to also to like be a full grown adult and have achieved your dreams and know and talk to the person who knew you when you weren't confident in yourself. You weren't the woman, that you are now. And, it's just, so that was the reason why. So the title of this series is called I Cheated on My Husband with the Wrong Man. And so now I want to tell you who I believe that I should have cheated on my husband with. And to me, I should have, if I would have gone to God with my doubts, with my insecurities, with my my feeling bad, just after having a baby and just seeking God, the real man in my life, I went to another human being who had flaws and who had insecurities, had his own insecurities. Like we completely latched on through our own insecurities, 100%. And so I just know that if I would have gone to God, and so you guys know now that I'm a life coach, I've coached so many women over the years that I've gotten on the phone. And because I've talked about this for years, you guys, over the years, this is not brand new information. It just blew up on Instagram. So now I'm doing the full story. But because I've talked about it so many times on my other videos, I'll have clients come to me and they'll come to me for business and then they start opening up about them having an affair on their husband. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, my advice immediately is always get out now. Like get out now, end it now. I'm not going to say never. It rarely ends pretty. Like, honestly, affairs rarely end pretty. I want that to sink in. Okay, it may be all fun and shits and giggles right now, and you might be on getting flowed out and all of that stuff, but they rarely ever end pretty. And so my advice is always to get out and to stop. And let me tell you guys, it's not just, okay, I'm done. Like, you start to have feelings for this person. Like, I remember crying, like still being with my husband, but crying over the fact that I'm not with this guy anymore. Like, it was a relationship, y'all. Like, have you ever mourned a relationship? Well, just because the relationship was wrong don't mean you ain't gonna have feelings. I had feelings, and that shit was hard. That was extremely hard to get over, but you got to stop. It's not right on everybody's accord. It's not right. You know it's not right. The other person knows. It's just not. You're just not, and it's stressful as, oh my God. I remember walking around my house and having the phone in my chest like all the time, and like, oh my gosh, making sure I always had my phone and making sure it was on vibrate, making sure it was on silent. Like, child, it's so stressful. Oh my freaking goodness. Anyway, you guys, this is it for this episode. The next episode, I'm going to tell you guys about the 7-hour standoff, the 5 loaded handguns, and the jail time.